I think I spent 3 hours straight on Instagram.
There are some sort of worrying trends of social media and bots and sort of AI that could lead to a sort of downward path. Creating film is incredibly expensive. I mean, I've never been paid for it.
Give them one reason to stay.
I haven't been to film school.
What?
Wait, hear me out.
Before getting started, do not press the like button if you're not a supporter of the arts. Do not subscribe if you measure success by the number of zeros in your bank account. Maybe share this video with your crypto bros, so you can all have a good laugh about people whose greatest ambition is to tell stories. Because for us, it's not about the big house, the fancy car, the designer clothes. We don't even care about being famous anymore. Our wildest dream is paying the bills by doing something that we love, instead of working at
an Amazon fulfillment center, the service industry, any corporate job.
Putting storytelling before a steady paycheck. What a bunch of assholes. Nick Willoughby.
That's me.
Did I say it right?
Yeah, you said it right, yeah.
Cool. If someone starts watching this right now, give them one reason to stay.
One reason to stay, okay, that is a tough question. I think maybe compared to some of the other people that you're interviewing who are part of Truth or Death, I might have a slightly different perspective because I haven't been to film school and I'm kind of approaching my sort of film journey from quite a different angle. I've been working full-time for quite a while, so you know, sort of my story is more about kind of like how do I balance sort of what I do full-time and also sort of pursue my creative interests and stuff, and how do I make that work and can I make it work and stuff. So hopefully that's a slightly different perspective. I'm not sure if it entirely is, but yeah.
Nice. So if you're thinking should I go to film school or not go to film school, this is the person you should be listening to. Nick is a photographer and he's trying to break into the film industry. Right now he is trying to break in as a first AD, more on this later. And eventually you would like to tell your stories as well. More on this later as well. But first, I have a little surprise for you.
Oh.
So remember when we worked together on Truth or Death and I asked everybody in the forum what is your favorite food?
Yeah.
That's because I like to motivate people with, by giving something special. But I didn't have time to do any of that because I was doing, what I was doing. Lift the box.
What? Oh my god, that's great! Oh yeah, hummus, you got it. Yeah,
was in crisps.
Salt and vinegar crisps.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. These are my two favourite flavours, salted vinegar and cheese and onion. So
It's hard to beat because there are so many options. Now there is one with the prawns as well. But
was that with the prawns? I do quite like that, but yeah, not as good as these ones. Yeah. Well, I know it will be quite disruptive to the sound if I eat these, so I might save them.
We're gonna take
also, you don't want me
risks,
to take handfuls of hummus out and sort of stuff my face. So yeah.
Have you ever been on a podcast before?
No, I haven't. I have actually sort of helped produce podcasts at work, but I've never been interviewed for a podcast before. So yeah.
All right. So we have a 3-cam setup, and so I'm here. You can make eye contact with me, but you can also be cheeky and make eye contact with the master.
Okay. Yeah.
Or you're close up over there,
My close
or
up.
you can lean in and steal my angle if you want.
Just like that. Okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
And now we get into Nick. Can you tell me about your background? So like where are you from?
Yeah.
Also, can you tell me how much you travel to be here? Because I'm gonna do Indiana Jones playing infographic if I don't feel too lazy.
That's good. All right, I like that.
So yeah, where are you from? How long it was to get here, and how long was to get here? Like where you are in your life?
So I'm from a very small village that no one's heard of called Whittlesford, which is in southern Cambridgeshire, and it's on the it's like a commuter sort of village. So my dad used to commute into London. And I think population is about 1,000 people, so it's very small,
So you were like the 0.1% of the village.
Yeah, it's a lot of old people.
Like you mattered in the statistics.
Literally, probably about 0.1. Yeah, that's right. And it was pretty boring. It was good in terms of like kind of countryside and ability to roam freely and stuff. But I think I started to sort of enjoy my environment more when I started like going into Cambridge to go to like sixth form, and then I went to university in Sheffield. So I think on the whole, I prefer sort of like cities, or at least towns where things are happening, you know, when there's a bit of activity. So yeah.
What made you move to London?
Yeah, well, I was living in Korea for about 2 years.
Wait, what?
Yeah, so I've had a really strange sort of like career, I suppose. After.
Oh. You say career, but I heard Korea.
No, you're correct. You're correct. So I was living in the country Korea.
Yeah.
But I've also had a strange career, like job-wise.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a bit confusing.
They sound the same, but didn't realize that.
Well, I pronounce them the same. I don't know if they're supposed to be the same or not, but that's how I pronounce them.
Everybody has a very strange Korea.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah. You can't be so rude about the country like that. What's wrong with you? Gonna get cancelled. Yeah, so, well, basically, just to kind of briefly sum it up, I did journalism after university, because I did English literature at university and music, but I concentrated on English, and did journalism. I worked in local newspapers as a reporter for a couple of years. Didn't particularly enjoy it, so then I went abroad and I worked in South Korea, teaching English for about almost 2 years. And then after that, I came back and...
Wait, you speak Korean?
No, unfortunately not. I learned a bit when I was over there, but I've forgotten most of it.
How do you teach Korean without speaking Korean?
That's a good question.
I mean, sorry, English.
No, that's a very good question. So basically, in Korea, they have loads of after-school academies. That's a really big thing in their culture. They're called hagwons. And so kids go to school, they finish at, say, like 3 or 4 p.m, and then because their parents work such long hours, they usually go to an after-school academy, which is essentially almost like a babysitting service, but they also learn whilst they're there.
Okay.
So they have English academies, English hagwons, and I was teaching there. Most of the time, the kids have Korean teachers who teach them English grammar, vocab, and so on. But then they're encouraged to have native English speakers to kind of come in and get them familiar with the language, the accent, how a sort of native English speaker were to speak it.
Yeah.
But yeah, a lot of it was, I'm not really sure how effective our teaching was, to be honest, because like you say, I mean, you're teaching like an elementary school class of like 8-year-olds, and they can't speak a word of English, and you're just like, hi everyone, we're going to do this worksheet today, and they're just like gawping at you. So it's a bit of a funny job. It was fun to do for a couple of years, but I don't think I could have stayed there much longer doing it. But it was a really, really good experience.
I like the name kind of like sounds kind of like Hogwarts.
It does actually, yeah. What's quite funny is they have hagwons for so many different topics. So jump rope is a big traditional game in Korea.
Okay.
So they have a jump rope academy that's very popular.
What?
It's basically like a really big rope.
Yeah.
And like people hold it on either side and they kind of swing it around like that, and then someone's in the middle like jumping and kind of doing tricks, I think, and dancing and stuff.
Wow.
So
Sounds very viral, Instagrammable.
Yeah, it's very cool. Yeah.
Tell me about your parents. What did you do for a living, and what are their hobbies?
So my mum was a nurse. She was like a midwife, and my dad worked in IT basically. Okay. So they're both retired now. My dad is like 73, but he only just retired because he really loves work. And in terms of their hobbies, they're both really active. They play a lot of tennis. My dad rows as well. My mum does a lot of gardening. They like reading, watching films. I would say like my mum is quite creative. My dad definitely doesn't see himself as creative, but he definitely is a little bit eccentric, I would say. Okay. He has an interesting eccentric side to him.
But none of them is a journalist, or they work in the art, and so like where did this passion for journalism, taking pictures, and wanting to make film?
Well, I think my mum has always been really quite creative, even though she didn't really go into a career that was around that. But my sisters are both very creative as well.
How many sisters?
Two sisters.
Okay.
So my oldest sister is a theatre performer, and she also creates theatre, but it's more like alternative sort of like theatre, like cabaret, devised performances. She lives up in Glasgow, and then my younger sister, she was very into like drag for a long time, and she hosts like a LGBT weekly, or is it weekly or month? I think it's monthly club night in Cambridge, where she invites a lot of artistic performances from people, not just drag, like all sorts, to come and perform. And she's really sort of actively involved in the sort of like LGBT art scene in Cambridge.
Okay.
So yeah.
So you got that influence there.
I think so. Yeah.
Can you walk me in a day or a week in the life of Nick?
Yeah, yes, I wouldn't say it's probably going to be that fascinating. A week in the life of me, so yeah, like I mentioned, I mean, I work full time, so I would be going into the office 2 days a week, and then working from home for 3 days. I can't work from my flat, so I usually go into a cafe because I need to be out and about.
Why can you not work from your flat?
I don't know. I've always just had this thing where I need to physically move somewhere. Yeah, I need to like I hate like rolling out of bed and then just like going straight to my laptop. It just feels really gross somehow.
Yeah. Okay.
And then if I physically kind of walk somewhere to a new location, I already feel like I've been productive in some way, I think. So
Got
that's
it.
partly what it is.
That's a great hack.
Well, yeah, but it's quite expensive. I spend a lot of money on coffee. That's the downside. Yeah.
What do you do for a living right now? Actually, let me rephrase that. I want in this podcast to glorify what we do, because even if it's not the job we want to do, like it's a dream job, the one they're talking with actors at late night shows, it's a big achievement. So I would like to praise that. Nick, what is your full-time job?
Okay. Wait, so how is that different to the original question? I'm confused.
It's not.
Oh. Okay, so my full-time job. I work in communications at King's College London University. So that involves writing about medical and life sciences research. So that involves cancer research, cardiovascular research, pharmaceutical sciences, obesity, diabetes. Did I say cardiovascular? I can't remember. And doing some social media. I've managed to kind of incorporate photography and videography into my job, which has been fun, because it's effectively a form of communication. I've kind of got to a point with my job now where I'm often out and about meeting people, going to just learning about different pieces of research and stuff. And I think kind of it's very, very different to film, but I think kind of it's quite interesting still. So I do find that quite interesting. So yeah, that's it.
Congratulations on having a full-time job. It's a big achievement.
Yeah, but I'm also trying to get away from it, like do something.
For now, paying the bills is the new Academy Awards.
Yeah, that's true.
Congratulations paying your bills. But you also mentioned you would like to break into the film industry. Why would you like to do that? Would you like to tell your own stories? And if so, why?
Yeah, it's a good question. I think I've always wanted to sort of tell my own stories. I used to do quite a lot of creative writing, so I was always going along to creative writing workshops and stuff and writing short stories. And so I think, I've always wanted to tell my own stories, and film is something that has fascinated me for a very, very long time, obviously. But I didn't really know how to get involved with it at all. So it was always something that I was kind of thinking about on the periphery, but I was just like, I have no idea how to get into film, get into the industry. I don't know anyone who works in film, so what do I do? And so it's only kind of in the last year or longer that, I've started sort of getting out there, working on sets, getting experience, meeting other people who work in film and so on. And so it's kind of opened up sort of potential opportunities and doors for me. So that's been really fun. And yeah, sorry, I wanted to talk about the money as well. So I do plan at some point this year, maybe in the next 6 months or so, to shoot my first short film. That was the plan.
Okay.
Yeah. So I want to write and direct, and then get a bit of a gang together to do it. And part of the reason I've been doing photography in the first place was really to kind of fuel this ambition for film and kind of to support creative sort of work, because I am now starting to earn a little bit of freelance money from photography. I mean, like, not loads or anything. I don't have like loads of jobs, but like the idea was always to use that money to support my sort of creative stuff.
Okay, so you have two separate pots. You have the day job pot for the expenses, and you have the freelance pot for the dream job.
Exactly, yeah, that's the way I'm thinking about it, and I don't know whether that's going to work out, like, because I haven't got to that stage yet, but, you know, I've got one or two sort of freelance gigs coming up, and so the idea is to use that money to then sort of fund something like a short film. So we'll see, because, like, obviously creating film is incredibly expensive, and that's something I don't think I really appreciated before, because I was always just like, you know, oh, it'd be so fun to like write films and direct them and stuff. But the difference between writing a short story or writing like a work of fiction and doing a film is like, making a work of fiction is free. All you need is Google Docs. You know, writing a novel. Making a film, you look at the budgets of films. You know, a micro budget film is 200k or something for a feature. You know, that's what some people say. And then you know, 20 mil in Hollywood is low budget. 200 mil is okay. Well, maybe the numbers aren't completely right, but basically it's very expensive. So I think like the money aspect is probably something that is very important and maybe isn't always fully understood before people start to go into film.
I know that you work as a first AD. What is your daily rate for a first AD? So people have an idea how expensive it is to make a film.
Well, I've never been paid for it, so...
Yeah, let's not go there.
Yeah. I mean, if you do include this part, it's up to you, but like, I would say, in terms of first AD, I have some experience, not really enough yet to kind of get regular paying gigs. The kind of work I'm doing on set so far is mainly for experience over. I'm not necessarily like, I would like to get paid, but it's not like the kind of main reason I'm doing it right now.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
You take a lot of pictures. You're a photographer, and a lot of people will think if you're a photographer, you naturally transition to director of photography, cinematography, but it's not your case, because you want to tell a story. You don't want to just take nice pictures and make them into a footage. You want to tell a story, which are two very different skills.
No, that's very true, and it's funny that I'm sort of known as like a photographer now, because I would actually say that the writing aspect is always kind of what has been my main thing. You know, that's always been what I'm most familiar with and what I've kind of enjoyed doing and so on. And I kind of got into photography through chance. I basically was at work and I found a nice camera in a cupboard that nobody had touched.
Wait, this latest job at work?
Well, yeah.
What?
Yeah, so I haven't been doing photography for long, like 2 years or something.
But again, we're gonna show some pictures later, but they're really, really cool.
Well, yeah, so like, and so basically I found this camera, started to learn how to use it, and then I got opportunity to shadow a freelance photographer who was coming into work quite a lot, who's very experienced. So I spent some time with him, and then over the past sort of like 2 years, I've been learning a lot about it and stuff. And I wouldn't say that visual creativity is something that comes naturally to me. That is something that I think I really have to learn. You know, by imitating other people and so on. I would say that more on the writing side, I find that easier to be creative. Visual creativity is tough for me, whereas my girlfriend is a fashion designer. Okay. That's something that she is really, really good at. So yeah, I'm learning more about it, but like the idea was that like by learning more about the camera, doing photography, videography, hopefully I can marry that element with the writing element, and somehow it will sort of form into, you know, someone who can maybe make films. It's like, yeah, I don't know. It's, yeah.
That's kind of like the way it works, actually.
Okay, that's good to hear.
Who is your inspiration?
Who's my inspiration?
Yeah.
God, I haven't prepped an answer for this.
What? But you told me to ask you this question.
Oh yeah, sorry. I know I sent loads of questions over, but then I saw all your questions and I was prepped for all your questions. I didn't prep for any of mine. Greatest inspiration. Can we come back to that one?
Yes. Pass.
Okay, pass.
Okay. Shall we do this segment? Hard truths.
What was it, sorry? Hard truths.
Truths.
Hard truths.
Like Kirby says, hard.
Hard truths.
Okay. What is something you're struggling with at the moment?
Something I'm struggling with. So I would say something that I've always struggled with a bit is procrastination.
Okay.
Yeah, I am and always have been a big procrastinator. So that is something that I find quite frustrating with myself. You know, I can, and I'm sure a lot of people would have this, easily kind of eat up like an hour or two just scrolling on my phone. And then I'm just like, I could have spent that time being so productive and creative. Why did I do that?
I think I did that last week. I think I spent 3 hours straight on Instagram.
Oh man, yeah, I can do that easily. Like, I've got a friend though, this makes me feel slightly better, whose average daily phone use according to his iPhone is like 8 hours.
What?
And I was like, that's literally insane. Right. Yeah, there must be some, maybe it's not right, because like apparently if you're like listening to Spotify or something, it records that as like phone usage. So I don't know, like it may not be completely accurate. But yeah, I have some, and this goes into another question about life hacks that I saw you'd written.
Okay, go for it.
So I have a life hack, and this has been pretty effective for me. Is I have downloaded an app called Freedom. I'm not sponsored by them. That basically allows you to block other apps, and it's really effective because apparently a lot of apps do that, but you can like get around them quite easily.
Yeah.
And Freedom is good because you can't, and I do pay for it annoyingly. It's like £40 a year. And also I set Pomodoro timers for myself. I don't know if you know about that.
I do, but I don't think people do. Can you explain what the Pomodoro is?
Yeah, so I think the name comes from supposedly that's how long it takes to make a Pomodoro tomato sauce. Is that right?
What I heard is that the guy that invented the system was called Pomodoro. Was his last name?
Oh, okay.
No, wait. It was called Pomodoro method because the timer it was using a kitchen timer. It was shaped like a Pomodoro.
Okay, yeah. That could be,
but just
be legit. No. I probably just completely made that up. I don't know where that came from. But yeah, like, so basically you set a timer for 25 minutes and you tell yourself, I'm going to work in this 25 minutes. And it works because that's a pretty short amount of time. And so if you just say, even if I don't do anything for the rest of the day, I'm going to commit myself to work for this 25 minutes and then I can chill after that, you can probably do it, and then before you know it, 15 minutes in, you found your focus, and before you know it, you're just continuing to work like for an hour or 2 hours or whatever.
Okay.
So it's good because you're kind of giving yourself the leeway and the option to be like, it's only 25 minutes. I can chill afterwards if it's not working for me. But then actually, you usually find that you do manage to maintain your focus after that.
Okay.
So I find that pretty effective. Yeah.
Nice.
This is Columbia Road Market, and I went there to do some street photography a bit over a month ago. It was slightly daunting at first because it's incredibly busy, and I've done street photography in the past, but I was worried that people were going to recognise that I was there with a camera and taking their photos, and so I thought I might get a few words from people. Luckily, no one gave a shit, and after about 20 minutes, I was really relaxed about it, so that was really fun. I tried to kind of like capture the energy and the frenetic energy of the market, like getting people sort of like marching around with their plants. For this, I put my camera down about waist height, and then as this guy was walking past, just kind of like moved the camera up to him, and then took a photo and hoped that I kind of got it. And I think the kind of slanted angle of this kind of like really captures sort of the speed and the energy of the market. This was just quite funny. This guy just looked like an old geezer, you know, like a proper East End geezer. I don't know if he was or wasn't, but I was a fan of the flat cap and his barber coat and so on. He was kind of doing this slightly aggressive sort of finger pointing thing, which I thought was quite funny. I should also add, I was using a filter called a black mist filter for this. It creates some bloom and halation on the highlights. So that allows these sort of, the highlights, like in the sky, for example, to like wrap around someone's face a little bit. It's also called a beauty filter because it smooths out the skin slightly, so people will also use it for portrait photography. This was some BTS photography from a short film that I helped out with called Girl Math. The idea of this photo was to capture the kind of contrast between the two characters. The character on the right is a sort of spoiled brat who is really rich and controls her friend, and takes a friend out shopping to expensive places, but her friend can't afford to buy the same things that she does, and the rich spoiled brat can't really understand why. And the friend on the left is sort of not really able to sort of like buy that expensive stuff. So this photo is supposed to kind of like depict that dynamic between them. I went to a mahjong community event with my girlfriend just before Christmas, and it was really fun. Learned how to play mahjong, similar to gin rummy, if anyone's ever played that. It was really, really well attended, and I want to get involved with doing more community events because I want ways to kind of like expand my portfolio a little bit away from corporate photography, and I want to get invited to more things as a photographer and build up sort of what's on my Instagram or whatever. So I did photography at the mahjong event a couple of weeks later, and I like this photo because a lot of people, when they kind of cast the tokens into the middle of the table, they throw them quite hard. And so I used a slow shutter speed for this to kind of capture the motion of the token as it's being thrown into the centre of the table, increased the exposure in the middle of the table, and darkened the exposure around the outside to create sort of a bit of a spotlight feel to it. This is Varun, who is a DOP who Luigi works with quite often. This was some BTS footage for his music video, for a music video called Hot Hot Hot. I thought this was a cool photo because we were filming with this great sculpture. I managed to capture Varun in the centre of all these kind of big spheres, like right down the middle. So I like the kind of swirly motion. I like the two colours of it, the yellow and the green, and yeah, it was a nice happenstance. This was from a photo shoot that I did with Luigi's girlfriend Irina. This was a hand-specific photo shoot. Basically gave her an opportunity to show off her really lovely recently done nails, and it was also for her birthday. So Luigi directed the photo shoot and was very, very good at doing that, as he is with everything to do with film. He's equally good in photo shoots as well. This was in the bedroom. We had this idea of Irina pouring wine from a great height into the glass. We had this great moment where she missed the glass and the wine ran down the outside. And we were kind of like, oh no! But Luigi spotted this as an opportunity to take some cool photos from the bottom. And I think it creates this effect of, you know, a murder has been committed. Blood is running down her hands off the bottom of the glass. It's kind of quite sort of sinister looking, so I like that.
Do you have something for the anti-bucket list?
Wait, what did I write?
The anti-bucket list is a segment about the once-in-a-lifetime experience that people should do, but you did them and they were shit, so you were never going to do them again.
Okay, so I think I interpreted the question slightly incorrectly.
How
I basically just put a shit thing that happened to me.
What?
Yeah, not something that I was expecting to be really good.
Okay, so that's a different segment. That
okay.
one is for Never a Joy, I think.
Oh, okay.
You also have something for Never a Joy.
Well, I've got this.
Okay.
Whatever it is. So.
Okay. So this segment is called Never a Joy, and it's about when you were very close to get a big win in life, and then you just slipped away.
Oh no, it's still wrong for that, I'm afraid. basically, I've written dislocating my shoulder, so like, it doesn't work with either of those.
Okay. So actually, kind of worked for the entire bucket list.
Yeah.
I dislocated my shoulder.
Yeah. Actually, you know what? Okay, so I was trying to do a handstand at the time, which you could say was on my it wasn't on my bucket list, but you could kind of say it was on my bucket list.
Okay, that works. That
Yeah,
works.
it works.
Okay, so let's start over. So this segment is called Never a Joy. In Italian it said Mai una gioia.
Okay.
Where is it? Hang on, can you say this one? Look at the camera. I'd say
sorry, you said.
Mai una gioia.
Mai una gioia.
Yeah. So you say the story like I was trying to do the handstand, and then at the end, never a joy.
Okay.
Mai una gioia.
Okay. All right. So I was taking my dog for a walk out in the local village rec when I was about 18, and I'd been trying to do some handstands in my garden before that. I was on the rec and I was like, you know what? It's just a huge green open space. I'm gonna try and do a handstand. Tried it. What I wasn't expecting, because this has never happened before, is I overbalanced and my feet started sort of balancing over my head, and I moved my arms to try and catch up and correct the balance, and then my weight forced me to come down on my arm like that. Had a big crunch in my right shoulder, and then I was lying on the ground and my arm wasn't moving. It didn't hurt, and I was just like, what's going on? And an old lady came over to me and she was like, what's wrong? And I was like, I think I've dislocated my shoulder. And she was just like, well, you shouldn't have been doing a handstand then, should you? I was just like, okay, it's too late for that. Anyway, she seemed annoyed with me, I don't know why. Somebody called an ambulance for me and I went to hospital. They gave me laughing gas this was a very trippy experience. They gave me laughing gas for about 20 minutes and they tried a new technique where rather than wrenching it back into place, they slowly moved my arm around until it like slowly went back into its socket. So there was this guy cradling my arm, slightly moving it whilst I was tripping balls on laughing gas. It was like a rocking a baby, yeah. It was like very trippy. Eventually came round, but yeah, my shoulder's been a little bit screwed since then. So
okay,
yeah.
So that was a great segment. And can you do it like this? I tried doing a handstand and I dislocated my shoulder. Mai una gioia.
I tried doing a handstand, but I dislocated my shoulder. Mai una joy.
Yeah, never a joy.
Mai una joy.
What is so special about Nick Willoughby that you should go on a date with him?
What is so special about me that you should go on a date with me?
You cannot go on a date with Nick because he's in a committed relationship. But
is there anything so special about me that you should go on a date with me? That's a good question. I don't know. I like to think that I can be a good conversationalist. I think I'm quite a creative person, so that can be fun sometimes. Yeah, I don't know. I like sort of vibing with people and sort of I like learning about people. I really like talking to people and learning about people, and people who say that small talk is a waste of time, I think, are completely missing the point. Small talk's fantastic. I love it.
what?
Yeah, I really like small talk.
Okay, let's do a segue. There is another segment, and we just stumbled on it. This one's called Hear Me Out.
Okay.
Have you seen the Hear Me Out trend on the social media?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, so you share something that you really like, and I was like, what? And you pause and say, hear me out.
Okay.
And then you say why something's so great.
Got it.
Okay, so let's start it over. So you said you like small talk, huh?
I like small talk, yeah.
What?
Wait, hear me out. Okay, so small talk, it gets a bad rap from people, right? Because people are like, oh, it's such a waste of time. Why can't we just get into talking about deep topics like immediately? Why can't we just do that? I think, well, firstly, you're not going to go up to someone and be like, what's the meaning of life? I mean, because that's just not how conversations or relationships work. That person would think you were probably a bit strange. So small talk is great because it gives you an opportunity to learn about somebody you might not have met before, you might not be familiar with, and you kind of like, you start out asking these basic questions like, oh, how was your weekend? Did you go on holiday? Where have you been on holiday? What kind of things have you been doing recently? And from there you make inroads into conversations about deeper topics. You know, you can't just go in really, really deep from the very get-go. So I think it's like a bit of an art, and it's just fun to learn about people, I think. And, you know, it's just an enjoyable thing to do. I enjoy it, so yeah.
Note to host, huh? Practice small talk.
It's alright, my girlfriend hates small talk. She, I think it's partly a cultural thing. She's from Singapore, and I think they're a lot more direct there than they are in the UK. And that's also completely fine. I mean, there are times when it is a bit annoying, and sometimes, you know, you just want to get on with something and someone's just like nattering onto you. But, so she doesn't like it, but I think there's, yeah, a lot of value in small talk, so.
And now, a word from today's sponsor, Wikipedia. Just kidding. Wikipedia is definitely not sponsoring this podcast. In fact, I doubt they even know I exist. But I am sponsoring them. Because when people ask me if I have a dream, I always tell them I want to become rich enough to buy Wikipedia. Before you strike me off as some supervillain, let me explain. I hate that time of the year, usually around Christmas, when Jimmy Wales, the creator of Wikipedia, has to put up the banner on the website. You know the one I'm talking about? He looks at you with those sad digital puppy dog eyes, asking for £2. £2. It breaks my heart. Imagine building the greatest library in human history and having to beg for coffee money every December. My evil plan is to get rich enough to write him a check so massive he never has to do that again. But I'm not rich yet. While I work on my millions, I need you to help me save Jimmy from the banner of shame. If everyone reading Wikipedia donated just £2, they will hit their fundraising goal in about 1 hour. So please, go donate on wikimedia.org. Give them a couple of quid. Let's keep the knowledge free, and let's get Jimmy a day off. Extinction level event is about to happen. We have the opportunity to send a rocket into space with 5 movies that hopefully an alien civilization will find. We need these 5 movies to encompass the human experience. What 5 movies do you pick?
Oh, it's very good you asked that, Luigi, because I have some answers prepared right here on my phone. What a coincidence.
Yeah, who could have seen that coming?
Okay, so I've tried to pick like a good selection with quite a lot of variety, basically. So first film that I pick is Parasite, which won Oscar for Best Picture, first foreign language film to win it, back in 2021, I think. Directed by Bong Joon-ho, who's a Korean director who I've always really liked. I got into him when I was living in Korea. His first feature, I think, was Memories of Murder, that came out in the early 2000s, and that's really, really good. Parasite's great, I think, because like you can tell he's been a sort of he's been honing his craft for a couple of decades, and it's a brilliant blend of fantastic directorial sort of skill, but also it's very well written, and it's a kind of it's like a social sort of critique, which works really well, but it's also really fun. Have you seen that, Parasite?
Does the Pope watch his Parasite? Yeah, of course.
Okay, good. It's the Pope shits in the woods. I like it. So next, Spirited Away and or Princess Mononoke by Studio Ghibli, Hayao Miyazaki. I've always loved these films. I've always really loved fantasy, like the kind of really, really creative elements that these films produce. I think like the kind of creative mind behind them is just like astounding. It's so good. Like Spirited Away, all the amazing spirits and like how they look, and you know, and then Princess Mononoke as well is just it's a kind of it's on a much more epic scale, but yeah, the visual creativity of it is just incredible, I think. So I really love Studio Ghibli. Next film is Monster, This is one I saw a year or two ago at London Film Festival.
Is it Charlize Theron?
No. This is a Japanese film, and it's basically it's got a fantastic script. It's one of those films that's like kind of more wordy than sort of like strong action, whatever. But yeah, it is about a scenario at school happens. The teacher gets all the blame, but then in the next sort of segment of the film, the perspective of that scenario switches to another person, and you see a whole new side to it. Then again, the perspective switches in the third act, and you see a whole nother side to it, and you kind of learn more and more about the characters and the story as it goes on, because you're seeing all these different sides to this one incident. Mm-hmm. And it's really incredibly written. I loved it, and I really recommend it if you haven't seen it. So next film is The Third Man. Do you know this? The Third Man?
Is it from the 70s?
Yeah, no, from the 40s or 50s, I think. It's really old.
I think they made us study
Oh, did they? Oh, they made you study it? Oh, nice. Well, yeah, like, I'd always heard it was a classic. And it was showing at, I think it was the Prince Charles Cinema in Leicester Square.
For the people not living in London, we have a cinema called Prince Charles, and they screen sometimes new films, but most of the time they screen old films. Like if you want to watch Casablanca in a movie theater and you're not there in the 20s, what is it, 20?
I think it's like 40s or 20s, Casablanca. I don't know how old that is actually.
You can always count on Prince Charles to screen that.
It is great actually. It's a really good cinema, and it's kind of like it's still independent, which I think is quite rare. Mm-hmm. But its screenings are just amazing, like really good. But yeah, The Third Man, black and white. I think it's from the 40s, late 40s. I wasn't sure if it would hold up. It really, really does. It holds up so well. It's really thrilling. It's full of intrigue. It's got this amazing score, which is like really fun and lighthearted, and it kind of contrasts with the sort of mysterious mysterious sort of like slightly sinister nature of the film. So that's really fun. Yeah, I just think it's a great film.
Okay.
Finally, Top Gun 2.
Okay, interesting.
I saw this twice, I think, in the IMAX.
Wait, you went to watch Top Gun in the IMAX? Mm-hmm. Twice?
I think so, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's great. It's just, I didn't think I was going to love it going in, but I just think it's everything you want a big blockbuster to be. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's just like practical effects are fantastic. It's got the right kind of like corniness and cheesiness, which you would get maybe more of in the 90s. You know, it's got the hero, it's got the villain. The effects are amazing. It's just so kind of over the top. Like the action is great. I really loved that film. Yeah.
We have a little bit of a tradition here. Every guest at the end asks the question to the next guest.
Oh yeah.
So Jack wants you to answer this question.
Okay.
What is a film that, in your opinion, accurately depicts the future of mankind?
That's a very good question. I don't know if I know of a film that accurately depicts what I believe is going to happen. Mm-hmm. Not to get kind of like too sort of away from film or anything, but I think kind of like there are some sort of worrying trends of social media and bots and sort of AI generated conversation and sort of taking place that I think is a bit worrying, and that could kind of like that could lead to a sort of downward path slightly. But I also think that makes a quite boring film subject matter. in a way, I also think that it's difficult to make a kind of compelling film that accurately depicts what's going to happen in, say, the next 10 years. Because everyone's living that at the moment, and so they don't necessarily want to see a film about that. Yeah. You know, like, everyone's so sick of kind of, like, culture war-y, social media-y type stuff. And so films about that, I don't think, are particularly interesting, because it's just surrounding us all the time. However, films that depict the future that I think are really fun are things like, I love Blade Runner. That's the original. It's always been one of my favourite films. The new one's great as well, Blade Runner 2. And I love like The Fifth Element. You know that?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, it's a great film. Really, really fun. I love Total Recall. I love those like kind of hammy.
Have you watched both of them?
What's that? Sorry.
Total Recall. Have you watched the remake?
Oh no, I haven't seen the remake. No.
Did you know there was a remake?
I didn't.
Colin Farrell.
Oh really? Colin
Yeah.
Farrell. Oh, I do like Colin Farrell actually. Yeah. I might have to check that out. Is it good?
I don't remember.
Oh, okay.
But you know, you cannot beat the original. There was, I think, in the remake they didn't do the woman with three breasts.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
And that was like pretty iconic. I don't know if it was because it's unacceptable anymore, but you know.
Oh, that's a shame.
Yeah, it was so weird, but it was so bang on.
Yeah, that is a shame actually. Yeah, but yeah, the original is so iconic, and it's a classic Arnold Schwarzenegger film. Like campy acting, doesn't take itself too seriously, just tongue in cheek, silly. It's great.
Those were a big thing in Italy, like those movies, and I still remember the commercial, the trailer for the film when it was going on TV on, what's the name when reruns? No,
Oh yeah.
Whatever. Anyway, they always put in the trailer the last shot where there is this sphere with the shape of the alien hand, and he puts his hand like this inside. So dumb. Also, the name. Would you like to guess? No, would you guess? The name in Italian of the movie is Atto di Forza.
Tour de Force.
Kind of, yeah. Atto is like act.
Oh.
Act of courage.
Oh really?
Yeah.
So very different title, completely different meaning.
Yeah.
That's interesting. I always find it interesting how things are marketed differently depending on which country. Yeah. I remember seeing an interesting sort of like infographic on the internet a while ago of all these like kind of Japanese Nintendo games from the sort of 90s and 2000s.
Okay.
And they were like, do you know the character Kirby?
Yeah,
It's like a pink ball kind of thing. I think it was Kirby, and they were just like the covers of loads of different Kirby games like on the screen. It had the Japanese version, and in the Japanese version he was made to look really cute and had he looked really sort of innocent. And he didn't have any eyebrows, I don't think, and he was just like a big kind of like pink blob. And then in the American one, they'd given him these kind of like downward sort of like determined badass eyebrows in like every single game edition. And just hilarious how like that supposedly appeals more to Americans, sort of like badass, like free spirit kind of thing. Whereas like in Japan, it's very different. So
I have a question. It's more like a brainstorming. Yesterday I was watching a TV series that was a scene in a strip club, and I came up with this question for women because it's it's a strong topic. I think it would be fun to record. What would you think would be the equivalent to ask a man? Something
so it's for women. Do you think men go to strip club?
Yeah.
Oh, good question. For women.
So like I asked this one to women. Why do you think men go to strip club? What would be a stronger? But this one doesn't make sense if you ask to men.
Yeah.
Less fun.
They would just be like, yes or no.
we go. What would be a question that I can ask men on the podcast?
Yeah, good question. I suppose it's like kind of what cliches are there about women, and is it true?
Love it.
Yeah. So, but I'm not sure. It may, I don't know what sort, because men boys going to a strip club is a bit of a sort of men film cliche, isn't it?
Yeah.
So I wonder what similar ones there might be for women. Maybe like there's always those scenes in do girls love slumber parties, something like that maybe. Yeah.
Okay. Why do girls go to slumber parties?
Yeah. Why do girls go to slumber parties?
Okay.
Yeah.
What is your worst nightmare?
My worst nightmare. I'm not scared of heights, but I hate jumping off high things, which sounds weird.
Luckily, doesn't happen often.
Yeah.
At least I hope.
Yeah, no, it doesn't. Yeah, that's true. Doesn't happen often, but like high diving boards.
Okay.
I used to love doing that kind of stuff. When I was a kid, throwing myself off high things into water.
What is the highest thing you jump off of?
When I was like a teenager, I went on holiday to Scotland with my family, and me and my sisters did something called I think it's called waterfalling, or maybe it was called canyoning, one of the two. but like basically we went with a bunch of guides through like a river. We were walking down a river, and along this river there were like multiple miniature waterfalls all the way down. You have to climb down them, and then at the end there was this really like steep one that was apparently 40-foot drop. And we had the option, if we wanted, of jumping off it into this kind of like looked very small pool of water at the bottom. And I did manage to do it, but it was bloody terrifying. And I mean, but once you've done it, you're like, that was fun, you know?
That was fun, though.
Yeah. It was super fun. But like when you're up there, it's the anticipation. Yeah. Well, yeah, I suppose. That time it worked out. When you're up there, you know, it's the anticipation of just like, you're on the edge and you're like, I should do it. And you're like, 3, 2, 1, oh no, I can't. Yeah, exactly. So, yeah.
What is your wildest dream?
My wildest dream? You know what, I don't remember my dreams particularly often. I used to when I was younger, but I don't really remember them much anymore. But I used to have some crazy dreams. I remember one of my favourite dreams of all time was I was falling through the sky and there were loads of people falling around me, like in the same way, just falling. But instead of clouds, they were just like enormous floating like bouncy castle type things, like platforms that were like bouncy castle material. Yeah. And I was just like bouncing from one to the other, like falling down, and it was just so fun. So yeah.
That's not what I meant, but it was still a great answer.
Oh right, okay.
Like as in, I want to become a billionaire, or.
Oh, you mean like an actual like a dream like that? Okay.
Oh, but that was good. I like the idea of the clouds and the bouncy castles. Yeah. What would you like to ask the next guest?
So is it from this list?
No.
Oh, it's any question.
Yeah. Any question.
Okay, so ask her the bear question.
The what?
The bear question that went viral about a month ago.
I don't know about the bear question.
This is a good one. You should have this.
Yeah. What is the bear question?
So you can only ask this to women, or you can ask men. It might produce a very different answer. Would you feel safer walking in the woods, meeting a man on their own, or a wild bear? And a lot of women choose the bear because they're kind of like, you know, a lot of them feel sort of quite vulnerable to men, more so than
with a man you don't know.
With a man you don't know, a stranger, yeah. Like, would you rather meet a wild bear in the woods or an unknown man or something? But yeah, it's like a viral question. Just like got a lot of people talking.
Damn. The last thing, pick a color.
Go for blue.
Okay.
Oh.
Okay, sign it wherever you want. Just
okay.
Not on the Apple for now.
Sign it right there. Okay. Okay.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you.
You pick a piece of paper from here, you open in front of the camera, and then you go, don't get him started on, and you go on an angry rant about whatever I find.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So wait, I say don't get me started first. Don't get me started on licorice. Licorice. Okay, so this is an easy one because licorice is just revolting. People try and sell it as a sweet these days that people will enjoy. I'm sorry, but it's not like the 1910s anymore. Like, we have way better sweets than licorice. Do you know what I mean? It's such an old person's like sweet or candy. Like, it just tastes of aniseed. You might as well just put like a bunch of fennel seeds in your mouth. It's it sucks. The color sucks. It's just black. Sticks all your teeth together. And nobody wants it. So There we go.
Now do the same thing with the hear me out.
What was that again?
So you really like licorice and say, what? And you go like, hear me out.
Okay, so I say I really like licorice. Mm-hmm. Okay. I love licorice.
What?
Wait, hear me out. And do I have to say that? Okay, licorice is great. I mean, how can you not like licorice? It's a classic. You know, it was a predecessor to all sweets today as we know them. It's found in the wild, it's derived from plants, it's probably healthier for you. It has a lovely aroma. everybody loves licorice.
You're
What can
so
I say?
full of shit. Thank you so much for being here today.
No problem. That was fun. I enjoyed that.
All right.
Yeah. Cheers.